guys, how are you all? It's Cloudy, and today I'm super excited because I'm going to be sharing my must-watch dramas for July/August. So initially I wanted to do a first impressions video for different kinds of Korean dramas, but then I realized that I started too many dramas all at one time. So I thought I would do a drama drops kind of vlog. The name is courtesy of my best friend. She chose the name Drama Drops because each drop has a drama introduction in them. And I am super excited to share with you guys all of the series that I am currently following because it is a really exciting time in the drama world, and I keep getting sidetracked in anime because I'm so excited to follow my dramas. So I have all of the pages open out on my phone. I have about 4 to 5 dramas listed off for today, and they are all series that I've watched episodes from, whether it's the first 2 episodes or the first like 10 episodes. Some shows have been going on for a few weeks now. So without further ado, let's get started! The first show is called Ice Fantasy, and if you guys follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I've been tweeting about it like crazy because Ice Fantasy is based on a book called City of Fantasy by Guo Jingming, and it is such a vivid world. The set design is done by Dan Hanna, who also did the set design for Lord of the Rings. The CGs and special effects are done by the crew and company that also did Hunger Games. There's like tons of really big names on this. There were about like 6,000 people building the set. Crazy high budget, so much hype. It stars Feng Xiaofeng, which is one of my favorite actors. I loved him in Lanling Wang. And the main lead character is Victoria Song from FX. Ice Fantasy takes place in a world that is divided in 3 different realms: the human world, the deity world, and the spirit world. And in the 3 realms, the most powerful kingdom is the Ice Kingdom, and they've always had really good relations with other tribes and other peoples in the world. However, they've had a really tenuous peace with the Fire Tribe for like thousands of years, and now the Fire Tribe is looking for an excuse to go to war, expand their territory, conquer the Ice people. And the show follows the crown prince of the Ice Kingdom, Kaso, who is going to be next in line for the throne. His coming of age ceremony year, in which he turns 130, really turns his life upside down. The political developments force him into war. You know that war is going to break out because the prologue already states that the series is going to be encapsulating the ups and downs of the Battle of Fire and Ice. This is like Lord of the Rings meets George R. R. Martin meets Chinese ancient fantasy. It's amazing. I love it. It's so stunning to look at the visuals. A lot of amazingly talented people have come together to create this amazing world, and Kaso ends up looking like an ice prince version of Legolas, which I absolutely am like dying for. A big part of the show also showcases Kaso's relationship with Yin Kongshi, which is his younger brother, who is also going to grow up into a very attractive Legolas looking like character. So I'm super excited for Ice Fantasy. Please check out Ice Fantasy, whether you're into anime, K-dramas, J-dramas, whatever it is. It's so high budget and so amazing that you just have to watch it. The next show I want to talk about is another mainland Chinese produced series. It's called Chinese Paladin 5. In the past, they've done Chinese Paladin 1 and Chinese Paladin 3. They base it off of the video games. I don't know why it's in odd numbers. We have 1, 3, 5, but there is no Chinese Paladin 2 or 4. 5 is a lot better than 3 or 1 because the budget is a lot better, the CGs are a little bit better. It's not wuge anymore. There's no rehashed characters. It's a brand new cast, and there's pretty much no relation to the other games. It stars Elvis Han as Jiang Yuanfan and Zhou Cheng as Long Yue. I cried a lot for Chinese Paladin 3, and I thought Chinese Paladin 1 was like crawling pace slow, so I couldn't really watch it. But I'm excited for 5 because there's 2 main characters, 2 romance subplots, and 1 love triangle. Plus, at the beginning, you don't really get the sense of why Yuanfan is supposed to become this great paladin. It's really interesting to see how he's going to save the world in this context. In the Chinese Paladin franchise, there is always the good and the bad, the light and the dark, and that's basically the dynamic of the overarching Chinese Paladin world. Chinese Paladin 5 is a little bit more separated in the sense that there's a lot of different factions going on. There is a wider range of characters, which means the world has been developed much better. I watched the first 5 episodes with my dad and I'm already hooked. Jo Chang looks amazing, 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 amazing. I know some of you guys are really big Elvis Han fans, and he also looked really, really good in this show. The characters are much manlier. You don't really think they have that same boyish charm that Wu Ge had in Chinese Paladin 1 or 3. I'm really glad they're changing up the set, the world, the characters. It gives the Chinese Paladin franchise a much fresher and new atmosphere. Also, the 2 main female characters that get paired up with the main characters are very, very, very different, and that's kind of one of my favorite things in ancient Chinese series. I love seeing diverse, strong female characters, and this show definitely has them. If you're into fantasy, action, anime, live action, all of those things, definitely check out Chinese Paladin 5. It's a really good show to get people into ancient Chinese series because there's more fantasy than there is history, but you'll get a sense of the morals, the values in ancient Chinese history. At the same time, there's like tons of action to keep you engaged in the show, and there's a lot of strong mythology elements underlying the story. Now let's move on to the K-drama world. The first K-drama I want to talk about is called Doctors, or Dr. Crush. It stars Park Shin-hye and Kim Rae-won. I was really looking forward to this series when it was first announced because Park Shin-hye is one of my favorite actresses. She's so beloved by the film world. She was in Pinocchio, she was in Flower Boy Next Door, she was in The Heirs, so I'm really excited to see her play a much more mature and strong-headed character in this show. Park Shin-hye actually put a lot of thought into this character. She asked a lot of doctors, trying to learn how surgeons actually conduct themselves. So she is actually quite immersed in the role. She plays a very level-headed, cool surgeon very well. And she is paired up with Kim Rae-won, who plays Hong Ji-hong in the story. The story starts with Park Shin-hye's character, Yoon Hae-jung, in high school, and she ends up falling in love with her homeroom teacher. But of course, because she's a student and he's a very young teacher, they have this taboo going on in which they just cannot be together in a relationship. Years later, Hae-jung has become a surgeon, and Hong Ji-hong has returned to the medical world as a surgeon, and they end up meeting again and rekindling their relationship. And I think Park Shin-hye and Kim Rae-won really bring these characters to life. I definitely would not have been interested in the show if the 2 main characters were not cast so well. Hae-jung is a very stubborn, badass type kind of girl. She does everything her way. She doesn't care about rules as much. On the flip side, Hong Ji-hong is a very easygoing character. He's a little bit more open, but he also likes to do things himself. So the characters are very independent, and it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to merge their lives together when they're both so adamant on doing things in their own way. As well, the rest of the cast is very entertaining. Yoon Kyung-sang plays Jong Yeon-do. Jong Yeon-do is that really strict surgeon, but who's also a derp. And I actually quite like him more than Ji-hong because I think that he has a really soft side of him and a really dorky side of him that really needs to be unlocked by the right girl. Dr. Crush is one of the most popular series at the moment, I would say. The next series that I want to talk about is called Uncontrollably Fawn. This series got a lot of hype when it was first announced because Suzy is in it from Miss A, and also Kim Won-bin, who is a super popular actor slash model. Kim Won-bin was really popular in The Heirs, and a lot of people really loved his quiet charisma and his really strong style. He's being paired up with Suzy in this new kind of comedy romance series. It follows a girl called Noel who ended up being a documentary film person, and she ends up selling out her secrets a lot because companies will pay her off and she'll take the money because she needs to pay off a debt. She ends up taking on a job to convince Won-bin's character, Jun-young, to star in a film. I only watched the first episode, so I only know a little bit about the series. A lot of people really enjoy the chemistry between Won-bin and Suzy because he is the very stoic character, and Suzy has a really playful, easygoing personality. Some people were criticizing Suzy's acting, so I personally am not a fan of Suzy's acting, but if you're a fan of Miss A and you're a fan of Won-bin, you'll love watching this show. Noel also has her own kind of backstory, so there's tons to reveal there. And if you're used to kind of like love-hate relationships and you like brooding guys, I'd really recommend Uncontrollably Fond. Last but not least, I wanted to mention a series for some of you guys who maybe don't want to follow current series that are still being released every single week. I know a lot of drama fans who like to binge watch series all at once, so if you want to wait till the other series ends, I have a series that you guys can potentially check out. It's called Blood, and it stars An Jae-hyun and Ji Jin-hee and Koo Hae-sun, and Son Soo-hyun. I had Blood on my to-watch list for quite some time now, but recently it was subbed by the Cantonese networks in Hong Kong, and my parents are actually watching it on their Fairchild television here in Canada. So as they were watching the first 2 episodes, I was like, hey, that series looks pretty cool, and I went online to check out the original because I'm not a big fan of dubs. I like listening to the Korean, and I watched the first 3 episodes of Blood. It follows a doctor named Park Ji-sang who specializes in hepatopancreatobiliary surgery at the Taemin Cancer Hospital, and it happens to be the best hospital in the country. Park Ji-sang, however, also happens to be a vampire, and he has a pretty interesting backstory to it. In this world, vampires are not some sort of fantasy creatures. They're actually regular people who have just been infected with a virus. It makes them sensitive to too much natural light, and they have supernatural powers. Park Ji-sang ends up working at this hospital, and at the same time he wants to access a lot of different files to figure out where his parents got the virus from, where this virus came from, and whether this virus is curable, because he really wants to be human. I really like Park Ji-sang because An Jae-hyun kind of gives the character a very quiet and somber atmosphere. So I'm quite a fan of An Jae-hyun, and I first saw him in My Love from the Star when he was one of the supporting characters. On the flip side, the main female character, Yuri Ta, is played by Koo Hye-sun. And I'm actually not a big fan of Hye-sun's character in this. I feel like Koo Hye-sun gives the character too much freedom. All of her expressions and emotions are so punctuated. Yuri Ta is already a very powerful and strong character because she's so stubborn and so loud. She does what she wants. She's such a proud character that I almost get annoyed at her when I watch her flaunt her surgeon skills, all for the sake of power politics and hospital politics. I didn't expect Rita's character to be so in my face. Blood is a show that I'm following not because of the characters so much as the overarching mystery in the world building. There's a lot of behind the scenes dealings with other vampires, and there's someone who is controlling the game and controlling Ji-sung's movements and watching him, and I'm very interested in how this links all together with the vampire virus. So anyways, I hope you guys found something interesting to watch for these few summer weeks. I am so swamped in all my dramas and shows, but I am trying to balance everything with reviews and recaps and first impression videos. I have a family friend coming to stay over in August, and I have a friend of mine coming to stay over in August. So there's like tons going on, but always make time for dramas. Until then, I hope you guys are well. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video and you guys are looking forward to more, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share this video with your other drama fans. Until then, I hope you guys are well, and I will talk to you guys in my next video very soon. Bye!